Guys, we're giving away this 650 horsepower turbo 5-speed Colorado. You guys can win this. LSNasty.com. It is 10 times entry, so head over there. Any merchandise you pick up, it's badass, and you guys are gonna want it, and you can win this truck.
Huh?
Get this one.
That's the thing, DJ.
All right, we've had some serious tool upgrades trying to work on this thing because we build race cars around here, not big trucks. And what have we learned from working on big trucks?
It's different.
It is different.
Very annoying.
Dude,
Too many bolts.
It is annoying. It is a lot of bolts.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
I think if it was like new, it wouldn't be that bad.
What the f is this piece of shit?
We have had some upgrades. So, check out the 1-inch. Dude, this thing is a freaking man. 1-inch, and it's the only one that's operated so far. What do you have to say about this thing?
It almost broke my wrist off.
Dude, this thing.
Well, it's got a safety tether right here. You gotta look at your belt.
You know, you put it around your neck so it's not as like heavy. Like dead ass. It's for like
You want me to go get the sling?
It's for a shoulder harness, no lie. But it does work because the Milwaukee 1/2-inch is badass, but this is a whole nother thing. All right, so we got that. Let's go to the back of the truck. I treated myself. How long have I been doing fab work, Dave?
A couple years.
CJ, you're gonna like this. Doing fab work a couple of years. I've had some issues with the Miller welder. Not gonna lie, be fully transparent. Support for the Miller welder, had no help with it, so I don't even use it anymore. It sits under the table, but we still have it. But I like their gloves and I like their hoods, and their MIG welder works great for us. So I picked up, I should say before I reveal this, the other hood I had like a viewport like this. You've looked through, haven't you? It's like kind of small, can't see a lot. Not really the most comfortable, but I picked up this bad boy. This is, I don't even know what this is. Like I'm not a big welding guy as far as like specs and all that stuff, but all I know is the part that you could see through is so much larger. Can you see it?
No, it's dark.
All right, well, it's just take my word for it. It's so much larger, and the way it fits on your head is way more comfortable. Like, you see that? Did you see that? Was that laying? Look at this shit. Oh my god, that shit is nice. I'm hyped about this. This is nice, and it looks cool too.
Tough.
Matte finish with the damn distressed look. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
All you rat rodders. Yeah, the distressed look. So I'm itching to do this. So all right, I know what you guys are saying. Hey, I clicked on this video and we're talking about turbos and how to build a turbo kit. And we're going to tell you how to build a turbo kit. We had to show you, we're working on a truck too. We do it all here. We do storm work. If you guys are interested in storm work, hit me up, john.recovery@gmail.com. We do vehicle giveaways, giving away a 650 horsepower turbo 5-speed manual Holley EFI Colorado, which is absolutely insane. The ultimate daily driver shop truck. You guys can go to lsnasty.com. It's 10 times entries, and it's 20 times entries on past collection stuff. So lsnasty.com, first link in the description below. Check that out. So we do stormwork, john.recovery@gmail.com. We do the giveaways. I'm getting a phone call, not answering that. We are building a semi-truck because why not? And then if we walk in here, we build a bunch of other race cars, which you guys already know about. And I dabble, very lightly, I dabble in some turbo kit fabrication. Is there anything else that we do that I missed? We like guns.
Literally anything.
We like guns. What else?
Anything you can think of, we do it.
We do it.
We've probably done it.
We do it. We're big on driving simulators. We love our Race Tech seats and our Race Tech simulator. If you guys are interested in the motorsport stuff and driving simulators, I think they have a very nice rig. Yeah, so all right, let's reel it in here and let's talk about the turbo kit. So this one here, we're gonna talk about price because I feel like a lot of people don't really understand price if you're gonna do it yourself. CJ, is it fair to talk about price? Yeah. So I priced this whole thing out, no labor, just materials. One thing I don't have on the price is the Flowtech header. So let's just say you have an engine and you want to go turbo LS and you have no idea, like you don't even know where to start. What do you do? So obviously you need to buy a turbo. You need to look at turbo management, so wastegates and blow-off valves. You need to get some headers, some forward-facing turbo headers, and then you have to figure out how you're going to do all the piping. Those are like the main components of the turbo kit. So what we started off here is a set of Flowtech headers. They are very cost-effective. They are very good. We run these on cars that go bottom fours. We run these on street cars that we just drive on the street. So everything in between. Clearance is great. They bolt up great. Come with V-bands already on them. I really don't think there's a better header for the price. You're talking about $300. $300 for a set of turbo headers. For example, if you were to get the same exact header, is the quality different between this and the stainless work header? Maybe. Does it do the same job? Yes. Do we have any issues with these? Hell no. So, stainless works turbo header, you're gonna look $1,200 to $1,500. These are $300. Are these inch and 3/4 or inch and 7/8? 7/8. 7/8? I don't know. I'm looking at it. Looks like 3/4.
Expose him! Expose him!
Should we audit this and measure it?
I can't remember.
We'll call it inch and 7/8 for now. Like I said, the headers already have V-bands on there. We got ourselves a turbo. This is a TDI 98mm turbo GT55 chassis. Turbo selection is going to be very difficult for you guys if you don't even know where to start. If you don't know how to do any turbo stuff, this is my best recommendation to you. You go on Facebook, you go on Google, you type in Force Inductions, you find their phone number, you click call, you say, hey, I'm interested in turbo. I don't know what I'm doing. What turbo do I need? And they will ask you a laundry list of questions. What are you trying to do with the car? What's the goals with the car? What kind of fuel are you running? What horsepower? What is the engine? All of these questions factor into what turbo you're going to run. Now this here is a methanol LS drag radial car. So we know exactly what turbo we need to do. 98mm turbo, GT55 chassis, works really good. The perfect happy medium for this car because it's going to work well down low, spool good, but also it's big enough to really make some steam up top. We got this guy on there. Wastegates and blow-off valves. What the hell do we need for that? The wastegate is going to regulate your drive pressure. It's going to regulate how fast the turbo spins. We are going with one single 60mm wastegate. I don't know if this is like a good... I don't know if I want to tell people to run just one wastegate opposed to two, but for what we're doing here, we know we're not going to have the car turned down. It's always been making a lot of boost. We're not really worried about very low boost control. So we went with a single 60mm wastegate. Something like this, two 44mm wastegates would probably be sufficient. We're running a VS Racing wastegate on here per customer's request. Me personally, I like the TurboSmart stuff. I think TurboSmart makes the absolute best wastegates and blow-off valves. Super high quality. You can run crazy high pressures for the CO2. I've never had a failure with them. I've had great luck with them, great customer support. Really tough to beat TurboSmart. But the VS Racing stuff, I haven't really had any issues with them. I run this stuff more on my street applications. Very budget friendly. The TurboSmart stuff is going to be a little bit more high dollar. You got to factor that in accordingly. I mean, within your budget. If you're going to build I don't even know if I can say that, people get offended. If you're going to build a no prep car and try to keep it super budget, this is probably a good look for you. If you're going to build a RVW car with no budget, I don't expect to see this on your car. I think that's pretty fair to say. I think it's pretty fair to say. So, customer supply the turbo. How much you pay for the turbo?
$1,700.
$1,700. So we got the headers and the turbo. We're at $2,000 right there. I know what you guys are saying. Man, this stuff gets expensive quick, but that's a big ticket item. You're looking at wastegate, blow-off valve, which I got the flange on here. Here's the blow-off valve right here. You need to have a blow-off valve for the traditional style. I know what you guys are saying. Oh, I see you guys not running a blow-off valve or not running wastegates. That's a whole nother ball game. The blow-off valve is very important so you don't have compressor surge, and when you close the throttle blade, all the boost that's in the pipe and the turbo spinning very fast, you need to vent that air, so that's the blow-off valves for. I know for the Wiggin style clamp right here, the dual seal from Vibrant Racing, the wastegate and the blow-off valve was $400. So right now we're at $2,400 in the budget. Let's see, what else we get? Oh, we got a Parker Speed flange. That's like $200. That's a T6 flange. Very nice billet. It's dual 3-inch inlet. Really do like that. And then we have a Maven Performance turbo mount, which is a turbo drain mount. This is my favorite way to brace the turbo. So you brace the turbo by itself, and then you build the turbo kit to it, and by the end you have a very sturdy structural turbo kit. $200. I think we'll call that 200 bucks each, so another $400. We're at 2,800 bucks. If you're doing it yourself, that's really not, I mean, it's really not bad. If you were to put a supercharger on the car, you're spending more money just for the supercharger kit. If you're putting I'm pretty sure like a Whipple, like if you have a setup like this, you want to run like a 3-liter or 2.9 Whipple, you're in 10 grand off rip, and it's not going to make nearly the power nor the tunability. We got our turbo control, we got our turbo, we got our headers, we got our turbo management, we got our flange, and we got our drain mount, our brace. So now all that's left is really piping. Very, very nice materials on this build. I like to use the really nice material. I'm not a super great welder. I'm decent at best, but the nicer material seems to weld a little bit better, so I like to use that. Not to mention it's thicker, holds up good. Longevity wise, I think it's tough to beat, and it looks good. So we'll start off on the hot side. You don't have to order the V-bands. You have to get V-band clamps. These are actually from Stainless Bros, the T-bar style. I like these because they're like, when you're doing the fab work, it's very easy to get them on and off because you're not stripping this nut out, because you can just pop that off, take your turbo kit off. But the V-bands actually come with the headers, which is very nice. I'm just gonna read off what we have here for materials. So we have the V-bands, like I talked about, 2 of them at 20 bucks. So that's 40. 3-inch tight radius, no legs, you're looking at $78. There's multiples of these, obviously. 3-inch straight, you're looking at $48. 3-inch 90 with legs, you're looking at $97.5. 3-inch 90 no legs, you're looking at $28.50, $292. It's really not bad. You're looking at $300. Add another $120 to that for a Motion Raceworks saddle, because we do have to fab the wastegate on there wherever we decide to put it. Highly recommend those. Very strong, sturdy.
Motion saddle's nice.
I would not put anything else on the car other than that. They're very nice. That's the hot side. What are we in the total on the hot side?
So, adding the turbo and everything, 3212.
3212 for the hot side and the turbo and everything mounted. So now let's talk about, I'm gonna include the charge pipe and the exhaust together because I got all that stuff from Race Parts Solutions. So 11 gauge aluminum, that's kind of like the secret that I like, because it's very thick. I have some sitting over here. If you look at the thickness of it, it is very thick. Multiple reasons why I like it. For one, it's easy to weld. You can put a lot of heat into it, get a lot of penetration. 2, it's also very, very, very strong. When you start using, if you get the Amazon aluminum,
It's just so thin.
dude, it's not gonna cut it. Very difficult to weld. Seen them have a bunch of failures. So I try to steer everybody away from that. Especially if you're putting your time to fabricate something, you're doing it at home, just buy the nice shit. Race Parts Solution 11 gauge is by far the best stuff. So we spent $800 at Race Parts Solutions for some flanges, some V-bands, and aluminum. So I got some V-band assemblies right here. These are gonna go in the exhaust, all right? Because we want the exhaust to be kind of modular so it's easier to get in and out. If you have one giant Y, because customer requested dual exhaust, more expensive, mind you, but he's going for the style points, you know what I'm saying? What do you got to say for yourself?
Gotta look gangster.
It's got to look gangster, all right. I feel you, I feel you. So spent $800 there. The exhaust is all 4-inch, so we ordered a Rock Solid Motorsports 5-inch outlet, so GT55 outlet, to dual 11 gauge 4-inch. It doesn't sound cheap because it's not, but Steven hooked it up. I think we're in like $400 on that. So add 400 to that 800 and then put all that stuff in there. What are we at total wise?
4412.
4412. $4,412.
Still half the cost of a Whipple,
Thank you.
Charger,
Thank you.
anything like that.
Thank you.
Make
Thank
way
you.
more power.
Double the power.
Thank you.
Literally.
Also, what I do want to say is the tunability and the reliability of the turbo compared to the blower stuff, I think it's a little bit better. We've had really good luck with the longevity on this stuff, and I think if you want to put something together, the initial upfront cost, I know what you're saying, you know, you buy a nice car and get a plate on it, but if you're going to run the car for 5 years, like we ran the Black Sheep for 5 years, if you're going to run it for 5 years, a nitrous car, you're going to spend more money in that in nitrous. Methanol is very cheap. The fuel system is a little pricey, but again, it's a cost that's an upfront cost, and then it kind of pays itself off. So to build a turbo kit, if you want to build this exact thing at home, you have a welder, your buddy has a welder, and you borrow it. Other than your time, you're going to be in less than $4,500 in material costs to build this. Now, if you take it somewhere, someone, a professional, and they're going to charge you labor for it, obviously, you know, I think something like this you could expect to see, depending on the shop, I don't know, $3,000 to $5,000 labor. Is that
think
Would you
so.
say that's fair? Would you say that's
very
fair? What's my labor rate then? I'm definitely more of like the 5,500. So add 5,500 to that. What's our total? We were at, what are we, that's 10 grand. 10 grand. You know what? You could have bought yourself a Whipple kit. You'd have been in just fine. Then you'd have to bolt it on.
I mean, my kit for my Fox body, all said and done, all the fat was done at a shop.
Yep.
10 grand.
10 grand. So I think that's pretty common. But I encourage a lot of guys to get out there and do it themselves. You know, try to build your own turbo kit. Try to figure that stuff out.
You could even factor in the price of a welder to that and still be cheaper.
Yeah,
than
you
a
can
fat
literally
shop.
buy the Alpha TIG. This is what I've been using lately. I really enjoy it. I think this is like a $700 or $800 welder. I got my high dollar Miller down there that I talked about. Don't like it. Sits under there collecting dust. So I mean, you could literally buy a welder, and it's a good. If you're at the track, you go race, you tear something up. To have the ability to fix it yourself is invaluable. It's I don't even know if you can put a dollar figure on that, not having to rely on somebody to say, hey, you know, the car's got to sit here, I got them waiting to get into the shop for them to fix it. That stuff right there can really turn a lot of people off to racing. So it's a good skill to have, it's good to learn, it's enjoyable, and there's a ton. Like, I did this video solely for if someone says, hey, I want to build a turbo kit, where do I start? I gave you all the places to buy stuff. Rock Solid Motorsports, great place to get materials. Stainless Bros, great place to get materials. Vibrant has some good materials. TISS Fab has some great materials. Race Parts Solutions, Parker Speed, Maven Performance, Forced Inductions Turbos, VS Racing, Turbo Smart, Wilson Manifolds. You can put something together very, very, very nice with those companies that I mentioned right there. So there's a lot of support, especially with Turbo LS stuff, a ton of support for this stuff. And I really thoroughly believe that more people need to say, hey, I want to go turbo, let me just try it. Because it's really, once you dive in there, how many turbos? I mean, I've actually done quite a bit of turbo kits at this point.
This is number...
Probably, no more than that. I mean, you got to think, I did Hank, I did BJ's, I did my Colorado, I did this.
Modified the one on the Red Lobster.
I did the Red Lobster.
Eddie Murphy.
I did Eddie Murphy. I modified some stuff on the Bad Apple. So this would be like my 8th turbo kit, but it's just, and I built a set of zoomies, so we'll call it 9. But that's you just got to do it. So just go and weld some shit. I mean, Mason is a perfect example of him. He's learning how to weld. This is what it takes. This is what it takes. This is what it looks like. I feel like a lot of people don't show the reality of what it's like. This is what it's like. Also, let's keep it real. This is what it's like. This is what it's like. You know, you have to learn. So, highly recommend everybody picking up a welder and trying it out if that's what you want. If you don't want to do this stuff and want to take it to a shop, call me up. I feel like it's a good looking turbo kit. And I'm very proud. I braced the shit out of this stuff. I mean, I'm a 200 pounder and that doesn't hold my weight. So ready for you to wheelie it and slam that bitch back down. So that's gonna wrap it up, guys. Just want to do a quick little informative video. I know I'm trying not to do the videos where I just stand around and talk, but looking at this stuff, seeing some people posting stuff on Facebook, people that message me, there are people out there that don't know. So I make this video solely for an understanding of what goes into this stuff. It's not as intimidating as you think. Save your money up if this is something you're interested. Try to do it yourself. Highly recommend it. I don't think you can go wrong with the amount of knowledge that's out there to figure it out yourself. If I can do it, you can do it. So that's going to wrap it up. Don't forget, we're giving away our Turbo Colorado, which, oh, Colorado, I did that. Make that 9 turbo kits because I built that. And I built that turbo kit out of the scrap pile with a MIG welder, a TIG welder, some silicone couplers in about 30 minutes. And that sucker right there will peel your muffin cap back blue. So if I can do it, huh? And it chases charge pipe. So call it 10. Thank you guys for watching. Comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next upload.